Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Minecraft Dungeons video, where today I'm going to be going over some beginner tips that I thought of. Now, some tips might be missing from this list, and you might not find some of these very helpful. That is probably just going to be the small majority though, because these are some things that I found useful throughout my playthrough of Minecraft Dungeons, and these are also some things that I wish I had done in the first place. Now, let's jump into the first tip. So starting off, for my first tip, I think that it is important to just take a second to explore the camp and get to know the place that you will have as your main headquarters for pretty much all of Minecraft Dungeons. There are also a few chests and emeralds located all over the hub, so make sure you find those too. And it's just little details like these that increase how engaging the game really is. Next, instead of focusing on grinding the beginner levels of Minecraft Dungeons, I just recommend speeding through the more early stages of the game so that you can get to Apocalypse Plus more quickly. And when I say levels, I really mean the difficulties, like get through beginner, adventure, so you can get to Apocalypse. Also, a lot of the gear that you get will not be as good, and the mobs will not be too difficult to the point where normal gear won't be able to deal with them. As I just mentioned in the last tip, it is important to get to Apocalypse Plus as fast as you possibly can, because that is where the main content inside of the game lies. You can unlock the most powerful gear more easily because of some perks and special trials that you have access to. And the difficulty also makes the game more enjoyable, and the replayability is increased. Now, if you do have access to all the DLCs, I'd say it is more important to stay on the main island and focus on those levels. Now, this can be ignored if leveling up your difficulty requires you finish some boss levels, but if I remember correctly, there should be just enough on the mainland. And you can play through all these DLC levels when your difficulty is much higher, as in like Apocalypse, I'd say above plus 20, because there really is no point to play through them other than maybe to get some gear, but still, like I stated before, the mobs aren't too difficult to the point where you need god tier gear to defeat them. Make sure that you save the emeralds that you get throughout your playthrough, and don't waste them on lower level gear that might be missing some enchantments. So don't be worried about restocking villagers or buying equipment that seems kind of interesting. You'll get plenty of good gear that you might take a liking to throughout your playthrough. And you can focus on saving these emeralds for later in the game, because trust me when I say it is a lot nicer to have a stockpile of them. You should also make sure to unlock all the villagers in Minecraft Dungeons whenever they come available on the map. The villagers are a good source of weapons later on in the game, and the luxury merchant has in the past given me some amazing equipment. Villagers can also help lessen the grind for some gear through the restock function that they all have. Also, you shouldn't be too worried about unlocking the piglin merchant, because I believe he is unlocked whenever you gain access to ancient hunts. Now, if you find a good weapon that seems like it will be pretty interesting to use in the future, make sure you keep it in your inventory or inside of your storage chest. The blacksmith can also later increase the power level of these items, so you won't need to worry about finding another good piece of equipment because your original one has a lower power level. Instead, you can just run through 3 quick levels, like the secret cow level, to easily increase the power level. And all it costs is usually a few thousand emeralds. Finally, make sure that you use all the enchantment points that you unlock, since you can salvage the items later and get all these points back. Leveling up to get these enchantment points will also come naturally, so don't be too worried about grinding XP. As long as you kill some mobs in levels and don't have too many pieces of gear, you shouldn't ever run out of points. But if you are really looking to have a excess amount of emeralds and XP, I recommend looking at the AFK farm that I linked in the description. Now, I would just like to thank everyone who watched this entire video all the way through, and I hope that the tips that I gave you will be helpful in your own playthroughs. Making this video was pretty enjoyable, and thanks to the members of my Discord server who suggested that I make a video on this topic. And before this video ends, I'd just like to ask if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.